Hi, I'm Mark Ashton, founder of high-performance consultancy Resolve Gets Results. This video is on the subject of strategy, which is the third element in the five-part framework that I use to analyze the performance of organizations and to help to develop high-performing organizations. So the five elements are: number one is V for vision. Number two is B, behavior. Number three is strategy. Number four is I, innovation. And number five is delivery. And the other components are covered in separate videos that I've recorded. Strategy is one of those much used words, which means different things to different people. My view on strategy is that it needs to arise from the vision of the organization and the behaviors of the organization. In other words, the culture, the way in which the organization operates, its unique DNA. Because if strategy does not emerge from the vision and the behaviors of the organization, if it is devised separately in a vacuum by consultants, for example, it usually doesn't work. And the reality about strategy is that strategy will have to change to respond to circumstances. The boxer Mike Tyson famously said, "Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face." And to me, very simply, strategy is the plan to deliver the vision. And the vision, by the way, has three components: your core values and beliefs, shared; your core purpose, the why of the organization, shared; and the ambitious goal or mission that you are currently on a path to achieve. Something that you will know when you get there. It has a time to it, and it has a clear deliverable when you get there. So my view of strategy is quite well captured, I think, in a phrase that I first heard from my father. And whenever I say to people what I'm about to say, they always say, "That's brilliant. Can I use that? I'll take that as my own." And the phrase is, foresight is the ability to stumble into success without looking surprised. The reality is we're operating in an environment of uncertainty, VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, chaos and ambiguity. And this is just getting worse and worse. So anybody who pretends that they can clearly see what's going to happen and how it can be delivered is deluding themselves and deluding the people around them. I think that strategy is iterative. I think it conforms to scientific process. And what I mean by that is scientists form a hypothesis and then they test it. And that's how you should approach strategy. You've got the vision, you've got the culture, the DNA of the organization. How can we craft a hypothesis of where we're going that fits the vision and the culture? And how do we then test that as quickly as possible to find out how close it is to where we need to be? And if it isn't, then we need to respond and react and change things. And one of the problems I commonly observe is people running with a strategy that clearly isn't working, because they're afraid to confront the fact that it isn't working and to have those difficult conversations and to talk about what needs to change. In other words, let's change the hypothesis based on what we're experiencing, and then let's form a new hypothesis, and then let's test that. So strategy is iterative. Strategy will lead on then into innovation and delivery. And as I say, I'll cover those in 2 other videos. I'm always open to informal conversations. My email address is mark.ashton, ASHTON, @resolvegetsresults.com. So do get in touch.